For months, the cannabis cohort has been absolutely hammered, in part because the group needed to cool down after getting way too hot. So when will it be safe to start picking at these pot stocks again? Regular viewers know that Canopy Growth Corp, the big Canadian marijuana producer, has been a preferred way to play this group ever since they received a monster $4 billion investment from Constellation Brands, the liquor and beer company. That was a little over a year ago. But thanks to the rotation out of cannabis, a couple of not-so-hot quarters, and major leadership change, the stock has been crushed. In April, Canopy was trading in the 50s. Now it's at 25. But there's a silver lining here. The stock is now back to where it was. That's right. When Constellation made its big investment 13 months ago, same level where it bottomed during the nasty sell-off in the fourth quarter. In other words, hey, you're being given a chance to get back in at a more reasonable valuation. Should you take it? Let's take a closer look with Mark Zekulin. He's the new CEO of Canopy Growth. Get a better sense of his plans for the future. Mr. Zekulin, welcome to Mad Money. Good to see you, sir.
How are you?
All right, have a seat.
Good to see you.
All right, so let's get right to it. You know I'm concerned. You watch the show. I'm concerned because on the last call, I had thought, well, we've got a real big, good hand coming in. We got Mark. And then on the conference call, you said that you're resigning. And I was like, wow, wait a second. First Linton, then you. I need stability on Canopy.
Yes, I think it's important we take a step back.
Okay.
You know, Canopy is a big company. It's not about one person. It's not about Bruce. It's not about Mark. And as excited as we are to talk about the next CEO coming in, it's not even about that person, right? This is a company that we have built over 5 years, 4,000 people strong, 5 continents. We've been investing in intellectual property, in infrastructure, in teams and know-how. And it's those people committed to a culture of vision, excellence, long-term shareholder value that keep it going. So we're excited about the next CEO, but it's just one piece of the puzzle, which is, you know, an incredible company focused on long-term shareholder value.
Are you looking for a consumer packaged goods kind of CEO who can help disrupt, say, $250 billion worth of CPG with your company?
Yeah, the joy of this opportunity is the ultimate CEO could come from a number of places. There's obvious, you know, beverage alcohol, CPG, as you mentioned, pharmaceutical, you know, even some of the skill sets in the tech sector are relevant, right? So we have this huge variety of people we can pick from, and we're seeing great candidates come forward. Ultimately, it will be about fit. We have a very particular company, a very particular culture, a great vision, which we all believe in, and getting the right person to keep that going is what we're focused on.
All right, let's talk about vaping. In the last 72 hours, I'm friendly with enough people who vape, and they're petrified. They're petrified. Maybe their stuff is bad. Maybe the quality's bad. They didn't get it from the right source. What do you say to these people?
Yeah, so I would say this. We're obviously seeing stories come out of the United States, and that's you know, a tragic set of stories. And you know, compounding that are the unknowns, right? Because of the regulatory environment, we don't yet actually know, right? There's a lot of talk about it. Was it vitamin E, or you know, were the products tampered with between you know their process? So you know, if we think you know to the Canopy context, the Canadian context, you know, we're ready to launch vape products into Canada.
Right.
And the difference is, you know, this is really a regulated environment. So there are rules that will govern the products that we put to market. They will go into a regulated store, and they're being put out by a company that's been working for years to build the best possible vape product in terms of the characteristics of the product, but also safety, right? So we can do things like UL certification is a priority for our company, and all of our products will have. So put simply, the battery doesn't blow up in your face. Or serialization, so God forbid something does happen, we can trace back, and you're not waiting months to find out what happened. You can know exactly when it was filled and what went in it, and you know, things like tamper resistance, again, so our product is our product, not something that somebody took and adulterated. So there are a lot of things, and I think you know the key part for us is to focus on, you know, the Canadian model, again, is a good model we should be looking to, where there's regulations, there's systems in place. Okay,
now Bruce was on a number of shows, on my show more than anyone, and you know we enjoyed Bruce. He's fun, and he was a great spell, you know, weed and tweed, and just a bigger than life guy. And then he got fired, and you know ever since he got fired, the stock has gone down. And why did he get fired?
So the first thing I'll say is I would be wearing my tweed shirt as well. We're here in New York at a Concordia policy event, which is a global policy event. So otherwise, I'd be wearing my tweed shirt as well. But you know, I think it's you know, again, it's not really about you know Bruce and what happened there. You know, the sector is under pressure.
Right.
You know, you're seeing you know a focus on you know more of the short-term metrics, and I do think it's important. We all step back and again remember the big picture opportunity here, right? All of the reasons we were and are excited about the cannabis opportunity still exist today. There is still an opportunity, as you put it, which is hundreds of billions of dollars across CBD, clinical, medical, recreational. That's still there. And so the question is, which company has made the plays over the last 5 years in infrastructure, intellectual property, brands, the know-how, the team to seize that opportunity over the long term. And of course, that is, in my opinion, Canopy growth.
Okay, so how about the relationship with Constellation? What have you gotten out of it? I'm not seeing, look, I mean, in the time that you guys are together, I mean, I've seen Spike Seltzer take over. I mean, I think a lot of people would like to see something with cannabis in it that's tasty, that's like a beer, and in Canada, and see what happens. And where is it?
Yeah, so talking about the beverages is actually a perfect example of the collaboration we have with Constellation, right? So you're right, seltzers are the biggest thing in the U.S. right now, and around the world, and stop and think about the cannabis beverage opportunity, right? We have an opportunity to create a precisely dosed product that gives people a reliable experience that we can relate to the experience they know with a seltzer or a beer or an alcoholic beverage. We can put it in that form factor they're familiar with, and to your point, we can make it taste good, and then we can take away some of the bad points of alcohol, right? Hangovers and calories and all that kind of stuff. This is an incredibly compelling opportunity, and we're excited to make that taste good, put a Tweed brand on it, and bring it to market.
Well, I mean, the last thing is the acreage deal. Would Constellation have done that deal? I mean, it was definitely Bruce's deal, and it's a lot of money. To me, sometimes it's hard to justify that you gave them so much money. Why did you?
So let's, I guess, put it in context of the triggering event, right? Waiting for
the U.S., but
you got it. Well,
that's Godot. It's Godot. We got Republicans in charge from here to eternity.
So of course, it's real money. I would say 6 years.
Okay. Time
frame for that triggering event. To put in context, Canopy growth has just been around for 6 years, and think of everything that's happened in that time frame. So we obviously believe a triggering event will occur, and I think the other important part is part of this deal is that all of those things I was talking about, that beverage or the vapes, all of that work we're doing is intellectual property that we can make available to Acreage in the short term, right? So not only do we have a play with the best the best players in the United States, we can empower them to do even better. Okay, that's fair enough. But you're right, the whole group is compressed. It's not Canopy. And I think it's great that you came on and explained to people all the great things that you're doing. And that's Mark Zekulin. He's the CEO of Canopy Growth. He will not be the CEO after they name a new CEO in sometime in the near future. May Have Money's back yet. Right. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from May Have Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.